famous Bruce Wayne. Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
No matches on prints, DNA, dental. Clothing is custom, no labels. Nothing in his pockets but knives and lint.
Jesus, I thought you was dead.
Half.
Hey guys, welcome to week whatever, which is Superhero Week on theReelDVDwatchers. I'm going to be reviewing The Dark Knight, which has caused a lot of controversy here, but I don't give a shit. It's the film I want to talk about. It's the film that since I've last reviewed it, a lot of different opinions have come on that I'd like to defend against. And, yeah, so I'm going to get right into this. One of the things The Dark Knight is accused of is being overrated and being no different than any other comic book film ever made before. This is wrong, and I'm just going to go through 3 quick ways that The Dark Knight is not like any other superhero film. Simple ways, really. One of them is that there is no origin story for the Joker, the villain. But previous superhero films generally give an origin story to the villain, and especially in recent superhero films, particularly the Spider-Man trilogy, the villains are given a sort of sympathetic origin. This allows, usually, for the villains to become more three-dimensional and for the human audiences to relate to the villains, sort of understand their motivations more. Take Spider-Man 3, for example, where Sandman, his daughter is sick and he's trying to get money for the medical necessities that are required to help her get better. And obviously he's doing wrong things to do this, but it paints a much more human image rather than him just being pure evil. And that's what superhero films have been doing for the longest time. The Dark Knight gave no origin to this villain, and really gave no clear motivation to what he's doing other than he's just an agent of chaos and likes that. And you might be thinking, hey, doesn't that make him like just so simple, black and white? In a manner of speaking, it does, but at the same time, Heath Ledger's complex portrayal of this character and the mere fact that there is no motivation to this character makes it, I think, all that more scarier, because whereas with the villain who you have what's driving him, you can sort of manipulate, you can toy around with what's motivating him to sort of lean in one direction, whereas the Joker is unpredictable. He has no rules to what he's doing, and it makes for a much more unpredictable and more frightening, really. What's more frightening than the mindless killing machine that really will just do whatever, and you really don't know what. It adds a little bit of element of terror to the Joker character. And it goes back to the original comic book in which Joker's first appearance, he popped up with no origin. So I think that's really great. Another way it is not like any other superhero film is that the female lead is killed, and when there's still about an hour left into the movie when that happens. Generally, in 90% of superhero films, the final battle is with the female in distress. Again, going back to the Spider-Man films, that happened in all 3 of them. There's nothing wrong with that. Big battles trying to save the damsel in distress, as I said before. What the Dark Knight did differently was, 1, it was not at the ending. 2, the superhero does not save the day in the end. He fails to save the day in the end. And that failure, in fact, is not just, oh, look, we killed the female, let's just move on. It actually drives the rest of the entire plot, with Batman realizing, with a personal loss, finally realizing the type of damage he's caused. And with Harvey Dent, of course, driving him nuts and into becoming a vigilante known as Two-Face. So it's one, a gutsy move to do that really hasn't been done in any other superhero film. And two, it's a plot. It furthers the plot by exploring the psychology of these two characters and motivating them for the rest of the movie. Yeah, and another way that is not like any other superhero film is that it ends on a rather disappointing note, in the sense that the good guys do not win. Now you might be thinking, hey, the Joker's caught, Two-Face is dead. Yes, so Batman has to accept that. Well, he's, one, lost the love of his life, and two, he's been forced to accept the responsibility of this, and therefore sacrifice the heroic title he had by generally most people. What I like about this ending is that in taking blame for Harvey Dent's murders, he's also taking blame for he's also accepting responsibility for the chaos he's caused. Because with Harvey Dent doing that, that wouldn't have happened without the Joker's plot, and that Joker wouldn't have happened without Batman's, without him raising the stakes on crime. So it all really started with Batman and his effort to combat crime with this extreme method, and this all created this, what we come to, which is Harvey Dent being the hope for Gotham City, being ending up falling, and Batman having to take that. So he's not just accepting that; he's accepting blame for Batman for all this chaos with that move. I find another thing is that the Dark Knight, the Joker's schemes are outlandish, and you know what? They all rely too much on well, it has to go according to plan. You know, and that would never happen, kind of stuff. It wouldn't, but at the same time, what I like about the Joker's plan is it's so simple. It's a crime movie, this film, and what I mean by that is that it's about the Joker trying to assimilate his chaos in the city and destroy the crime empire, and it has three title characters who are law enforcers trying to stop this from happening. And the Joker's plot is that simple. He's a criminal. He's not like in the original films where, you know, they were having poisonous gas trying to make everybody crazy, or you know, freezing the entire world with a telescope or whatever. It's a simple plan, and yes, you're looking going, you know, this wouldn't happen, you know, this is kind of throwing it out there, but at the same time, it is a comic book movie. You know, no one's saying, no, it's not a comic book movie, don't treat it like that. It is, but with what Christopher Nolan has done, that would have not been done in the hands of a lesser director, is he's taken the source material seriously and done some craftsmanship with it. He's shown some art to it. So yeah, none of those things would, you're not going, that will happen. Chances are it never will, but it could. It's not like it's in the realm of impossibilities. And Batman's voice, you know, I'll agree, I can see why people can get irritated by that. I personally have no problem with it, but, you know, that's a personal taste, I guess, but I really don't have any problem with it. And the other thing that the Dark Knight gets accused of is having no real message. It's just a normal, run-of-the-mill comic book movie, just a summer blockbuster. One, fuck you, you're wrong. And two, it's about our response to terrorism. A lot of that is in there, with the Joker being this wild, insane, who has no distinction between citizens and who he's really trying to fight. He'll just do whatever he does to get the job done, and destroy and cause mayhem. And Batman represents us. You know, how far are we going to go to stop these villains without losing our own humanity? And that's the challenge Batman goes through in this film. And Lucius Fox's whole sonar thing, again, somebody say, what's with that? Again, it's a comic book movie. It's not just that, but it will have elements of that in there. So there you go. You know, quit complaining about it being what it is, and don't just limit it to being a comic book movie. Like, oh, it's Batman, it can't be more. Christopher Nolan, what he's done is taken this material and made something artful that, to me, combines the thrill of entertainment and the psychology of a good story and good characters, and mixes them perfectly, creating a brilliant, brilliant film. And then, of course, there's everything I've talked about before: the cinematography, the you know, the score, the costumes, the action, the music is brilliant, and of course, praise be to Heath Ledger and his performance in The Dark Knight. That's really all I have to say. The Dark Knight, in my opinion, is the greatest film of all time. That doesn't mean it has to be yours. Everyone's greatest film of all time will be different. I'm just saying that this is a masterpiece, in my opinion. And there's really, I hate it when people try and make it less than what it is just because of its genre. It's more than that. The Dark Knight really is just a great, fantastic film that I love. And if if anybody had a problem with this review or me reviewing this in the first place, I'm gonna take a page from Cody's book and say fuck you. And yeah, so thanks for watching Superhero Week, guys, and I'll be back next week. Bye.